Yo, what's happening everybody? King GBL here and welcome back to our brand new Go Battle League video. Today I've got a very funny and interesting video for you. Today is the return of the King and the Queen. Nidoking and Nidoqueen are going to be taking over the Great League today. And we're running this with a Frostlass in the lead. As you can see, we pick up a very positive lead in the first one, with a Medicham lead. But Nidoking and Nidoqueen are back, ladies and gents. They're not really back. Don't use these Pokemon, okay? But we actually went 7-0 with this. So if you do want to use this Pokemon, definitely use them at the start of the season whenever the matches are a little bit less sweaty. But anyway, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Drop a like in the video for some spicy Pokemon. We're running Nidoking, Nidoqueen, and we're also running the Ice Queen here, Frostlass in the lead. Now, to be completely, the opponent just top left there. To be completely transparent, I've thought of this idea like last season that I want to run Nidoking and Nidoqueen. And today I was like, okay, what's going to counter these Pokemon? It's definitely going to be like Swamperts and things like that, and any water types and ground types. So I decided, okay, I'll run Trevenant in the lead, and I went 0 for free with Trevenant. So at that point, I'm like, something has to change here. I'm going to swap it out to Frostlass, because not only does Frostlass deal with the ghosts and water types, it can deal with the flyers as well. So it just worked out a lot more consistent, and we land the Shadow Ball on the big Jellicent. This is going to be a Surf, but we do sort of need to keep our Frostlass, you know, safe, because it is really just like our only main like meta Pokemon. But we're actually running double nukes on these as well. And the opponent's running Gust. I always get confused with Gust. I might throw on bad timing here. I always get confused if it's a 4-turn move or a 5-turn move. I'm pretty sure it's a 4-turn move. So if you see me throwing in bad timing and stuff, that's basically why. But yeah, we're against this Pidgeot. We'll get all the shields off the opponent here. And the opponent cannot expect what's about to happen here. We're going to come in here, I think, with Nidoqueen. And we're actually running Stone Edge and Earth Power on Nidoqueen. And I'm not sure if we can actually farm this Pidgeot down. I'm going to no-shield the first one. It is the Feather Dance. And of course, these battles are at a lower sort of elo range. So I'm expecting the Brave Bird, but it's an aerial ace. Ladies and gents, it's an aerial ace. The opponent does not want to go for the big one. And we actually came in with Nidoking here, trying to sort of farm up a little bit of energy. And in comes a nice little Blossom. Once again, I love these early battles. They're just so much fun at the beginning of the season. We're going to go for the big Sludge Wave right here, which is going to absolutely just plant this flower back into the ground. And yeah, back in comes Pidgeot. We can't quite farm it down, and this is actually getting sketch, bro. If the opponent had Brave Bird, I think it's a good night for me here. Would Nidoqueen survive that? No, definitely not. Like, the Aerial Ace done about half of my remaining health, so a Brave Bird would have definitely took out. So GG's to the opponent. We're running, like I said, Stone Edge and Earth Power. Once again, guys, thank you for all the brand new subs. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. And if you're not subscribed already, just quickly check, make sure you are, and drop a like in the video. It helps out an absolute ton. But there we go, folks. That's the first game. Nice little win there. It's nice to see that Medicham in the lead, because of course with the ice punches and everything, it can do some damage. But yeah, it was just a ton of fun here. We've got a Kecleon lead, which is an interesting one. My best answer to Kecleon with Double Kick. Nidoking got Double Kick last season, so that was quite a nice update. This should just be a foul play, so I'm happy enough to let this go. And yeah, they do come in with a Gliscor, which is definitely a very Gligar, sorry, which is a very interesting one. We'll go for the Stone Edge. About 2 Stone Edges we'll take out, so the opponent can't really farm down here. I was tempted to shield this and go for another one, just to try and get the shield off the opponent, but we can just come in and get a big farm of Frostlass right here. The opponent will throw a Night Slash, and I'm expecting this to do a decent amount of damage. So I'm going to shield this up. Like I said, try to keep my Frostlass healthy and surviving. And now that we've got a big energy advantage, this matchup is going to be a lot more comfortable with the Kecleon. It takes them 15 licks to get to a foul play, which is the equivalent of about, 7.5 Powder Snows. So we can get to basically 2 avalanches per foul play. So we can just start spamming these off right here. And we're just going to hard swap into the Nidoking right here. In comes a Yanmega. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Is the Sludge Wave going to take out? Is the Sludge Wave even going to take out? The Aerial Ace does so much damage. We throw in some good timing right there. And we'll throw off this big Sludge Wave right here. Boom. Good night. Good night. And yeah, back in comes Kecleon, which will lick us down. And, I'm thinking there's no way they get to 2, right? Absolutely no way. So yeah, the opponent throws off their first foul play. We get off the avalanche, and that's a GG right there. Dude, I had so much fun. Like, I was smiling from ear to ear playing these battles today. Definitely a ton of fun. And like I said, at the beginning of the season, you're able to get away with things like this. Of course, whenever it starts getting a little bit more serious towards the middle of the season, I'm going to have to run some meta teams, but if you guys want a bit of a break from like the Noctiles, Lanterns, Medichams, all that kind of stuff, you know, start of the season, that's what it's all about. Get your fun Pokemon out there and just enjoy the early matches, because you've got another 3 months to basically use all of these meta Pokemon. And we've got a very good lead here. By the way, if you guys are looking to get yourselves a Snow Run for Frostlass, I can only highly recommend building it. There's so many like meta and anti-meta teams you can run with this. And we actually lose CMP against the Pelipper, which I was a little bit surprised about. But yeah, definitely, if you use a Glacial Lure module, I've seen a lot of Snow Runs spawn from those. So if you're still looking to get one, and they're not spawning in the wild, and we actually get the nice little farm down there as well, it was perfect timing. And in comes a nice little Scrafty here. Nidoking's just going to have an absolute field day against this thing, so I can either get a shield or land the Earth Power, which is beautiful. We can basically double kick it down at this range, and the opponent is going to go for a Power Punch. I'm thinking this opponent here only has one move on this thing. That's what I'm thinking. Or is this a different opponent? Yeah, it's just Power Punch. So I run into a couple of those actually, where they're just spamming off Power Punches. So you often get some Pokemon with single moves and stuff like that at this range, which is definitely just, like I said, a lot more fun to play. No, to be fair, like, you know, if I was using just meta Pokemon, this would not be as fun because the matches aren't as competitive. But when you're using random stuff and you're giving yourself a challenge, it tends to be just a ton of fun. But Castform here, yeah, I had to look this up on PvPoke. I didn't really know what it was running. I can see that it's got Hex as a fast move, and I'm gonna let the first one go here. So is that a Weather Ball Fire? Like, what did they just hit me with? On PvPoke, the recommended moveset is Weather Ball Ice. So I'm like, okay, let me just not continue this matchup. And as you can see, the Poison Fangs just they just chunk this Castform. They go for the Energy Ball right here, which is absolutely fine. I was just shielding up in case they were running double energy or double Weather Ball. And we'll go for the Stone Edge here. I didn't really want to reveal the Stone Edge, but I had to get it out of there as quickly as possible. And the opponent's going for Muddy Water here. Muddy Water actually it's low key. I mean, like very low key underrated. Definitely at the sort of top end, it's not that great. But you know, on a Swampert, like I had a game yesterday where Swampert baited me with a Muddy Water. They debuffed my attack. I think it was a mirror match as well, so like it just completely screwed me up. So Muddy Water is an interesting one for sure. We'll go into our Nidoking. We're just aggro swapping in here, trying to get a farm down and get ahead on energy. That's what I'm liking to do here with this Nidoqueen, or Nidoking, sorry, because yeah, it just reaches the moves, you know, pretty slowly. Like double kick's a really good energy generation move, but nonetheless, like it takes a little while to get to the moves because they're both nukes basically. We almost nuke the jump off. I might have one-shotted it if not for the debuff, and we're just going to come in with Frostlass right here and go for the full farm down. The opponent will not be able to get off 2 moves, and GG's the opponent. So we're currently 3-0 in this set, and 5-0, we're on a 5-0 run right here, so we're on a 7-win streak. By the end of this, I know, spoiler alert, sorry guys, I won 7 matches in a row. I think I mentioned that anyway. But in comes a Manectric, and sorry, error 6 occurred, so GG's. Luckily enough, we did not lose that match. But yeah, you know, personally, I would like to see Nidoking and Nidoqueen get a little bit of a buff. I'm not sure like what you would really do to buff Nidoking, because it recently got double kick. It has Sand Tomb. I think it's just too glassy, like it's a glass cannon for sure. I think that's the issue with it. It's probably never going to be that good. But maybe if it got some like better fast move, or better charge moves, like a low cost charge move, that might help it out quite a lot. But we're going to go for this big Shadow Ball against the Toxapex. I probably should swap out a bit sooner. Yeah, I just land that and swap out to the Nidoking. Nidoking would do maybe okay against it. And we're going to go for this big Sludge Wave on the Venusaur. I'm not sure if the opponents do be expecting these Sludge Waves. Boom. Look at that. It's not quite good night yet, but the Venusaur is pretty close to good night. Speaking of which, Frenzy Plant just absolutely destroys my king, and I think we can just come in and go for a farm down with Nidoqueen here. When you're running the double move, double nukes, you definitely want to get a little bit of a farm down with Nidoking or Nidoqueen. This is going to be a Brine, which will not take us out from here. It is a very weak move. We will be able to reach at least, yeah, the Earth Power right here. And yeah, the opponents never expect this moveset, by the way, on Nidoqueen, the double nuke moveset. That is super effective. And in comes an Ariados. Ariados is a bit awkward. One of my favorite Pokemon, definitely. I enjoyed using it in the cup recently. They go for Cross Poison, and I'm happy enough just to match shields here. Like, Lunge is resisted, but of course it'll debuff my attack. But you know, Frostlass, it's not the bulkiest Pokemon, and I want to try to get all the shields off the opponent here. Of course, Nidoqueen resists both of these charge moves, so if I can just basically get the shields off the opponent and go for Stone Edge, that will be absolutely fine for me. So we're going to fire this off right here. The opponent, you know, basically has no choice but to shield. It'll more or less one-shot the thing. And yeah, at this point we'll come in with Nidoqueen. We will have to eat a move here, but that is absolutely fine. Aridos, no matter how much they debuff me, the Stone Edge is just going to absolutely squash this bug. My analogies are the worst. I think they're the best, but the worst at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think my little analogies are kind of funny. I don't know. You can let me know if they're just terrible. Anyway, hopping into this next matchup right here. Let's see what sort of lead we get. Can we get an interesting match going? Let me know how you guys have been enjoying the season so far. We got a Scrafty. So we outpaced to the foul play. It takes him 7 to get to the foul play. We can get to the Avalanche in 6. And if they start messing about going for power punches right here, we just outpace it like crazy, and these Avalanches do a ton of damage. But let me know how you're enjoying the season so far. Have you been running any spicy Pokemon? And be sure to comment down below what spicy Pokemon you want me to run. I seen a few comments yesterday. Somebody wanted Octillery, Galvantula. Shout out to everybody who does comment, by the way. I do read and reply to most comments. I'll usually heart almost every comment. So yeah, if you do comment, just know that it's not going into the void. I am looking at them. And we aggro swap into the Nidoking right here, because once again, we can get ahead on energy. The opponent's just throwing power punches like crazy, and I do want to keep my my Frostlass healthy, just on the safe side. Now, I actually shield this up because these are starting to do a lot of damage. You know, whenever this Scrafty gets, look how much damage it done. Whenever it gets ramped up, it's a nightmare. Speaking of nightmares, Nidoking is just fully loaded with energy here, with almost 2 Earth Powers ready to go. We land the first one, go for 1 double kick, which coincidentally is good timing, and go for the second Earth Power. It is a bit of a shame having to go for double Earth Power on that thing, but GG's to the opponent. Now we actually swap out here to Nidoqueen. Maybe could have swapped out a little bit sooner, but it's all good. Azumarill's going to go for an Ice Beam right here, which would absolutely destroy my Nidoqueen. I just need to get off just a lot of raw damage here, and it'll leave me at the point where I can basically farm it down with Frostlass. The opponent is super low, and they're basically forced to throw here. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Shout out to like season 11 when this was a very common matchup, Azumarill versus Nidoqueen. That was a very common match whenever I was first starting to get into Go Battle League. You used to see that matchup so often. But we get off the Avalanche here, and good night to Azumarill. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the battles, man. A ton of fun today. Let me know if you have any spicy picks you want me to run. Definitely had honestly, I'm just so happy that I got a 5-0 with this thing, and actually went 7-0 in total. So guys, drop a like in the video, drop a sub on the channel if you haven't done so already, and of course get your spice picks in the comments down below. Nidoking and Nidoqueen have returned to the Great League, and honestly I'm low-key kind of sad that Nidoqueen did get nerfed. I really did like that Pokemon, but of course with the Charm nerf, it kind of makes sense that Nidoqueen did get nerfed, but I don't think it was that overpowered, to be completely honest with you. There's a lot of counters for it, so you guys can let me know either way, and in any case I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.